welcome back. As always, it's really good to see you. Today, I wanted to pick back up our field guide to the wildlife of North America. And I still have it bookmarked from where we last left off. And it looks like we are still in bird territory. And it looks like we're in the birds of prey section. So, let's get to it. So, right here, we have the red-tailed hawk. You can see it's red tail. Okay, so red-tailed hawk, Buteo jamaicensis. Let's see. The red-tailed hawk is one of the commonest North American hawks and can be seen soaring above open country, especially if there are nearby woods, providing nesting cover. It may sit on a post or telegraph pole for hours before spotting something significant and taking off to catch its prey. It is popular in agricultural areas because it mainly eats rodents. Northern birds move south in winter. The red-tailed hawk's nest is substantial, built up to 70 feet high in a tree or on a cliff. A small cup in the center is lined with green shoots, and 1 to 4 eggs are laid. These are incubated for anything between 27 and 33 days, and the chicks remain in the nest for another 5 weeks. Adult coloration varies according to range. Juveniles lack the distinctive red tails, and theirs are gray-brown with dark bars. So, their description is broad wing, short tail, heavy bill, dark brown back with pale mottling, white underneath, belly band of red streaks. Varies with range. Most adults have reddish tail above and whiter beneath. Their habitat are woods, plains, and prairies. And similar species are the rough-legged hawk, which has a long white tail. I feel like I've definitely seen these around where I live. Okay, we're gonna move next to the American kestrel. Look at that. It's so cute. So small. Falco sparverius. The most common as well as the smallest falcon in North America, the American kestrel is found in both cities and open country. Birds in more northern habitats move south in the winter. It often uses post wires or convenient trees as lookouts when hunting, suddenly plunging down to catch mice, insects, or even small birds during winter. It was formerly known as the sparrowhawk. It does not build a nest. The 3 to 6 eggs are laid in a tree hole, building crevice, or disguised magpie nest. Disused magpie nest. These are incubated for about 30 days by the female with some help from the male, and the chicks are able to leave the nest after another month. Oh, they're little. Their length is 10.5 inches and their wingspan is 2 feet. Compare that to the red-tailed hawk, which its length is 2 feet, so the whole wingspan of the American kestrel. And the wingspan is double that, so it's 4 feet on the red-tailed hawk. So it's like half its size, if not smaller. I can't do math. I'm going to say half its size. And it's small, has a long tail, hooked bill, russet crown, back tail, double black stripes on the white face. Male has blue-gray wings, which female lacks. Buff breast, paler to white underside with dark spots. before I move on to the next one, I just want to show you our guest that we have today. Hebe has joined us. See if I can scooch this way a bit so you can see her in the background. Okay, now we are moving to the blue grouse. Blue grouse. Let me see if I can turn the lighting down a little bit. Okay. It's a little bit better. The blue grouse. That is a name. Dendragopus obscurus. It doesn't even look like a bird, much less a creature of anything. Like, look at it. It's all puffed up and weird. Found in open lowland woods in summer, where it prefers places near large clearings, the blue grouse moves to higher areas in the winter. During winter, it eats pine needles, feeding off seeds, insects, and berries the rest of the year. The spring display is quite impressive. The male stands high up, often in a tree, inflating his yellow or purple neck sac, which is surrounded by white, and spreading his tail. He then flies down and struts with a fanned tail and wings dragging. The 6 to 10 eggs are laid in a sheltered scrape lined with pine needles and grass and are incubated by the female for about 26 days. The chicks remain with her for approximately 3 months. The juvenile blue grouse is similar to the female in appearance, and their length is about 20 inches. They're large with short bill, long tail. Male is blue-gray, orange-yellow comb above the eye, which is clearly a male shown here. Dark tail with gray tip, neck sac inflated, only in display. The female is mottled gray-brown overall. Their habitat is open, mixed, or coniferous woodland, brushy lowland, and mountain slopes. Similar species, female resembles female spruce grouse, but is larger. Oh, this next one is gorgeous. So next we have the sage grouse. Sage grouse. Look at that. Its spiky feather display makes me think of secretary birds. How they have like that spiky feather look. Sage grouse. Centroceras europhagianus. Whew, I don't know why I still do this to myself. Like, I'm just embarrassing myself at this point trying to pronounce these Latin scientific names. So, the sage grouse. A large ground-dwelling bird, the sage grouse is found across sagebrush flats in the western U.S., but populations are declining as this habitat disappears. Though it will eat other plants, it mainly feeds on sagebrush, leaves, and buds. The spring courtship display is remarkable. Groups of males gather on a display ground, a lek is what they call it, with each one having a defined area. They then perform a dance to attract the females, bobbing and strutting with the tail widely fanned and chest inflated. This shows 2 yellow-green air sacs, which the male sage grouse can inflate and deflate rapidly, producing a loud popping sound. Following this, one male may mate with several females. The 7 to 12 eggs are laid in shallow earth depressions under the sagebrush and are incubated for about 26 days. The chicks remain with the female for some time after they hatch. Their length is about 2.5 feet. And let's see, sagebrush plains. Sagebrush is so hard for me to say. Like, I turn into brush. And it says that the sharp-tailed grouse is much smaller and without distinctive black belly, but it looks kind of similar. Wild turkey. I'm very familiar with these guys. Wild turkey. Supposedly the bird that Benjamin Franklin wanted to be our national bird rather than the eagle. The wild turkey, Meleagris gallopavo. Oh, I think pavo is the Spanish word for turkey. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. The ancestor of the domestic bird, the wild turkey, was once plentiful, but populations decreased due to both hunting and habitat destruction. It is making a comeback, being introduced into new areas. It forages on the forest floor for seeds, nuts, acorns, berries, and insects, and is a strong flyer, roosting in trees at night. In spring, the male struts in his own small forest clearing, displaying to females with tail feathers spread out, head back and wings dragging, making a gobbling mating call. Several females may respond, 10 or more, and after mating they all disperse. The 8 to 16 eggs are laid in a shallow depression in the woods, which is lined with leaves and grass. They are incubated by the female for about 4 weeks. Chicks are fluffy and able to fly within a few weeks, but stay with the female until the following spring. Juvenile birds resemble the females. They're about 3 feet in length for the female, 4 feet for the male. The description is huge body, thin neck, small head. Male has bronze iridescent plumage, wing tips, barred in white, bare blue and red head, long dark breast tuft. Female smaller and duller, sometimes without breast tuft. They can be found in open pine oak forest, oak woods. There are no similar species. Few more birds. I say a few more, but we've got quite a few more birds left. Okay, so next we have the American coot. American coot. Fulica americana. Oh, these guys are cute, but their feet are insane. Look at that. They're tiny. They're about 15.5 inches in length. The American coot can be seen in large flocks containing hundreds of birds. In urban areas, it may become almost tame. Living on golf courses and in parks, it bobs its head while swimming, diving to the bottom to find fish and mollusks, but also dabbles for insects and pondweed on the surface. Its large feet make it possible for it to walk on aquatic vegetation and are also a swimming aid. The nest, which may be used throughout the year for resting, is generally built on a platform of marsh vegetation and weeds next to open water. The 8 to 25 eggs are incubated for about 25 days by both adults. The chick's frontal shield is blue and red, which appears to trigger an automatic feeding response in the parents. Within 7 to 8 weeks, the paler juveniles are independent. They have adult plumage by winter. So you can find them in freshwater and saltwater marshes and wetlands. Similar species is the common moran, which has a red face shield. Interesting. Oh, I wish I could get my microphone closer to her because she's snoring. Let's see how many have we done so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Next we have the killdeer. You can see it right there. Killdeer. Charadrius vociferus. The killdeer, a common open country bird across most of North America, eats earthworms, snails, and insects, feeding in large flocks. Its name is derived from its call. It winters in the south and moves northwards with the spring, living both inland and on coasts. It nests on open ground with 4 eggs, usually laid in bare scrape, sometimes with a few grass stems used as lining. Incubation is by both adults and takes about 26 days. If there is any threat or danger, one adult will do a convincing imitation of a bird with a broken wing. I've heard about this. Drawing predators away. Killdeer chicks leave the nest shortly after they hatch and fly within a month. They have only one breast band at first, but the second develops with the juvenile plumage. And they're about 10.5 inches in length. They are lanky, long tail, slender wings, gray-brown above, white underparts, 2 black breast bands, pale gray legs and feet, long, thin, dark bill. Rump shows red-orange in flight. Find them in grassy fields, lake, and river shores. And the breast bands make it distinctive from any other species. Next we have the common snipe. Gallinago. Oh, it's one of those double names. The common snipe, previously known as Wilson snipe, is found across most of North America in boggy areas with enough vegetation to provide cover. Solitary and secretive, it is most likely to be seen in flight having been disturbed. It forages for food, probing deep into the mud with its long bill and jerky movements, searching for crustaceans, insects, and other small animals. Summer is spent breeding in the more northerly areas, and it moves further south in winter. It breeds in marshes and damp places. During the display flight, it vibrates its tail feathers, making a hooting noise. The 4 eggs are laid in grass-lined depression and are incubated by the female for up to 3 weeks. Young common snipe are independent in about 20 days. Okay, next we have the great black... Ooh, whoever named this did this on purpose. Great black-backed gull. Great black-backed gull. Try saying that really fast. Great black-backed gull. Larus marinus. The great black-backed gull, oh, I said it, is common along northern coasts and is also found some way inland. Its range is expanding southwards. It eats fish as well as eggs and young of other seabirds, and may be seen scavenging around garbage dumps. They're like the raccoons of birds. It will also eat carrion. Despite this, nesting colonies sometimes contain other seabirds. It constructs a cup of seaweed, grass, and mosses to hold the 2 to 3 eggs, which are incubated by both adults. Though the chicks leave the nest soon after hatching, they are unable to fly for about 2 months. A young great black-backed gull takes 4 years to reach its mature plumage. The first winter, it is checkered gray-brown with lighter underparts and a black bill. This gradually changes with successive molts until by the 3rd winter it closely resembles an adult bird, though there is still some brown on the wings. And they're about 2.5 feet in length with a 5-foot wingspan. That's big. They're large, long wings, big yellow bill, large white head, black upper parts, white below, pink legs. You can find them in coastal areas, some in the Great Lakes. And their size is distinctive, but year-old juveniles resemble those of the herring gull. Next we have the Atlantic puffin. Atlantic puffin, and you can see how limited their range is right here. Fratercula arctica. The Atlantic puffin dives for fish, flying gracefully through the sea. It also eats crustaceans and mollusks. It tends to stay in the north, coming as far south as Virginia in the winter, though it usually remains offshore. In summer, it lands in order to breed, nesting in larger colonies in offshore islands. The nest is sometimes in a rock crevice, but is more often at the end of a burrow in soft earth. A single egg is laid and the female incubates it for 5 to 6 weeks. The young bird is independent almost 2 months later. In winter, the Atlantic puffin has a gray face and the bill is both smaller and less bright. Several bright color plates have been shed. They regrow the following spring. The juvenile resembles a winter adult, but has a browner face and a small brownish bill. It takes 5 years for it to develop an adult one. They're about 12.5 inches. You can find them on the Atlantic coast, offshore, and islands. It's the only puffin on the Atlantic coast. Y'all, we are going to be in birds for a while. I still think we're going to have at least 2 or 3 more videos until we get to the reptiles and amphibians. That's all birds. So, for you bird nerds, buckle up, because you get a lot more. So, I don't want this video to run too long, so I'll just give you a quick sneak peek, as I usually do, for the next video. We're leaving off with these guys right here. So let's bookmark that for next time. Oh, I completely forgot I made myself some tea. Do you guys like my shirt? It's actually a matching set. It's very eccentric. I call it my jester outfit because it's, I don't know, very clowny, but I love it. Here, I'll show it to you real quick before I sign off. So, as you can see, we've got these moons and stars, and then we've got like these stars shooting suns, and then we've got these dragons. Aren't they cool? On both sides, these dragons. I've got like a weird, I don't know, horse, like Pegasus thing right here. Like a manticore